Hi everybody, this is Nate. You're watching WASD20, and today I'm here with a mini painting tip, just a quick tip on how to roll your brush to get fine detail with your brush point. So I've got a wet palette here. In my previous video I did how to make a wet palette, but I'm going to get some paint on this thing here, a little more paint. And I'm going to show you how to just roll your brush. It's really simple. It's just kind of a no-brainer, but for newcomers who have never painted miniatures before, you may not have heard of this. So I've got a good amount of paint loaded into this brush, and what I'm going to do before I apply it to my miniature is I'm going to roll it out. And so I just kind of rotate the brush in my fingers as I drag it along. And now I've got a good amount of paint loaded into this brush, and yet I've still got a very fine point, as you can see. And that's going to allow me just to get in there and get that really detailed work on the miniature. So if I drag it across this paper here, you can just see how much control I have over that tip. I can get a really fine line. You can probably hardly even see that line right there. But yeah, a really fine point, or I can press a little harder to get a little thicker. And I've just got a lot of control here. So that's really a handy tip that really is one of the basics of how to paint miniatures well if you want to get that fine detailed work. Now the kind of brush that's going to allow you to do this better than other kinds of brushes is a sable Kolinsky brush. And so I've got one of these here. I'm not that good yet at taking care of my brushes. So I should probably get some new ones here, but this is a Rosemary and Company Kolinsky Sable Series 33, and this brush has been a really good one for me. They get great reviews, and you're gonna pay a little more for these. I think this one cost me about $6, $7, $8, and but it's been really good. So what they do is they just do come to that very fine point. It's just higher quality material, so it's gonna last longer. And as I said before, this is still able to load a fair amount of paint into these bristles here and still maintain that very fine point. Whereas the brush I was previously using, which, hey, don't stress it if you have some cheapo craft store brushes, that's what I started with, and I still did a fine job, and I've seen excellent miniatures being painted with really crappy brushes and paint, and people can't tell the difference often. But it does make your life easier if you have a good brush. This one right here, you can see it does come to a pretty fine point, but it's actually a little bit curvier at the end there. It's just not lasting as long. It's not holding up as well. And although it can come to a fine point, it is not going to hold very much paint. All right, it doesn't have that nice shape of a Kolinsky brush. The shape I'm talking about is something like this. All right, as opposed to the cheapo brush I have that's more like this. And yeah, you can kind of get that to a fine point, but it's just not going to hold as much paint, and it's not going to maintain the point as well. So that's my tip. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'd love to hear from you. Leave your comments down below, and everybody take care. I'll see you next time.